Hey, what's up? Whew, my battery ran out just on time for me to save that lost content, thank God. But I need to finish this, and I really hope that I'm going to be able to get this in, all of it. Plus, I'm starting to slow down because it's 10:31. I haven't slept all night, and I want to sleep now. So let me just get this dream out of the way. I was telling you guys about the previous. Please go check out the previous part. I was talking about how on the airplane back from this place that was the Squid Game airplane, in the dream, right? I was seated next to this former friend of mine from high school that belonged to a religious cult. And I gave the details of that cult. They basically squandered her life, okay? Yeah, very well. I'm sitting on this airplane. I have peace in my heart. I'm going back home, but I'm sad about my life. In that, goodness gracious, here's another man that I fell in love with that didn't work out, and I'm not getting any younger, and everything just sucks. And I'm going back home as a however many year old woman, still single and still with no prospects of marriage in sight and no proper life. I am still struggling to get my life back together, and it's when is this ever gonna stop? And just as I'm sitting feeling very sad in the airplane, sitting next to this former friend of mine, guys, if I tell you, Yazi, trumpets, guys, I'm sitting, Yazi, trumpet, like in my eardrums, they like bo 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 bo. Yazi, it's so loud, and I'm still sitting there all discouraged despite hearing this trumpet blast in my ear. And it was my friend that was sitting next to me. Ne? I told you this friend is not so much her going in the rapture, but what I've been reduced to. What the attempt at my life was. To make me some man's wife despite having been greatly gifted. To force me to just end up looking like I joined a cult. And next thing I'm married to some dude that I didn't even sign up for. And this chick, sitting next to me, I'm sitting, remember, like languishing. And then boom, 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 trumpets. I'm still slumped in the chair in the airplane going back home, waiting for the airplane to land. And the chick next to me, my friend, grabs my hand on some. She grabbed my hand, right? She heard the blast too in her ear. She grabbed my hand and then looked back, like around the airplane where we were sitting, to see everybody else's reaction to this loud trumpet blast in the airplane. Okay? She looked at, behind us was a white man reading a newspaper in the airplane. And he was just paging through it. And he was sitting next to a kid that was also just minding her own business. The kid had plugs in her ears. And everybody in the airplane was just quiet. Like they could not hear the trumpet blast. And then there was this like these two white guys, like friends. It looked like they could have been university age, college students, like 22, 21 or whatever. And they jumped on some, oh my goodness, you hear it too. Sorry, I'm choking. They were like, oh my goodness, first of all, they confirmed with each other, ne? And they were jumping up and down on the spot with each other. The one friend was like, you hear it too? And the other friend was like, yeah, I hear it. And this friend of mine grabbed my hand upon looking back at this man that was reading the newspaper and this kid with the earplugs in her ears. She turned back to me and she was like, Karabo, do you hear it? I was like, yeah. I was all chill because I thought it was like I thought the whole airplane could hear it. And then it was like, perhaps like the pilot and the air hostesses, they want to make an announcement. So I was just waiting for them to be like, we're about to land in Johannesburg, literally with a trumpet blast. And this friend was like, it's not the airplane, it's just us. At that stage, I was like, I got up in my chair. I knew what it was. I was like, we're the only ones that can hear it. I in and of myself then stood up off my chair and I looked around at the airplane and I realized that everybody in there was just sitting, reading newspapers, going through novels, like typing on their laptops, including some kids in there. And there was only 2 white guys that looked like university students that were jumping up and down next to each other on some, you hear it too, you hear it too, jumping up and down. And then there was another dude from the back of the airplane that ran to these 2 dudes on some, I hear it too, I hear it too, I hear it too. And me and this friend of mine joined them, and we jumped up and down on the spot on some, we hear it too, we hear it too. Mind you, everybody in the airplane, despite us screaming like this in the airplane and jumping up and down on the spot, continued just carrying on. Like, nobody actually paid attention to us and the noise we were making, the ruckus we were causing on the airplane. It's like they couldn't see us. And as with this trumpet blast was like, it was just going and going, and it kept on getting louder and louder. And as it was getting louder and louder, we were jumping, the 5 of us in this airplane. On the spot, we went and joined those guys. That was the 3 guys. The 2 of us joined them, and we were jumping, and we started saying, up, up, and away. Up. I am not making this up. I kid you not. We started saying, up, up, and away. Up, and with these gestures, like as in, up, and away. It's like we were trying to encourage the rapture to happen already, since we can hear the trumpet blast and nobody else can. And we were like, up, and away, up, and away, up, and away, up, and away, up, and away. We kept on saying that because we were expecting us to get taken any minute now. And I was so excited in the dream that I woke up. Unfortunately, when I woke up, I was like literally like jumping up and down in bed, laughing. I was giggling like I was laughing in my pillows. And I realized it was a dream, and I got so disappointed that it was a dream. I woke up because the same jumping I was doing in the dream, it was so real. It came into my waking space, and I was jumping up and down in my bed. That woke me up, and I was like, it was just a dream. It was just a dream. It wasn't the real deal. But I was jumping up and down on the spot with these 3 guys and me and my friend. Up, and away. Up. We were waiting to get raptured. And I remember slumping again after waking up and being like, why didn't it happen in the dream? And what's with all the other detail that was in that dream? And I slept. I went right back to sleep again. Lo and behold, as I'm going back inside sleep, right? Because I'm annoyed that the rapture didn't finish happening. I literally jumped straight back into the same dream. Straight back into it. And we were still jumping up and down on the spot. Up, and away. Up, and away. And I'm still jumping up and down, right? And as we're jumping up and down, visions came to me in this dream, right? God showed me that at that same time, I would on YouTube have 1,100, like 114K. 114K, what's that? 1,140, right? Or 14. 114. 1,100. What's 114K, guys? What's 114? It was not 114K. It was 1.14K. 1.14K subscribers on YouTube, right? The Lord was showing me that at that time when we're saying up, and away. Let me just move on to the next part to just finish this.